Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, March 8, 2022. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, has ramped up bus services to meet the increased demand from the full resumption of face-to-face classes. JUTC Corporate Communications Manager Cecil Thoms gave the update on Friday during a virtual town hall meeting hosted by the Ministry of Education.
The first thing is that we are using our articulated buses, which we call the double bus, which has a capacity to move twice as much the crowd, or twice as much of the crowd in respect to our regular units. We think that this will be able to mitigate any crowding that may take place within the KMTR.
Mr. Thoms says while there is currently a shortage of buses, the JUTC will bring several units back into operation to increase the fleet numbers.
We are doing everything that is possible within the resources that we have to meet the demand. Of course, the long-term strategy is that we have been given a commitment by the government that within the next, or should I say, within the latter part of this year, we're hoping that in the third or fourth quarter of this year, that we will get an additional 50 buses that will in fact beef up fleet numbers.
He's asking persons who travel with JUTC to bear with the company as it works out the details of the anticipated challenging situation. Meanwhile, approximately 7,000 students on the Program of Advancement through Health and Education, PATH, are to benefit from transportation subsidies. This was also disclosed at the Education Ministry's town hall meeting. The ministry will provide the subsidies through its Rural Transportation Program at a cost of $380 million. It will target children who are enrolled in primary and secondary schools across 13 parishes, as well as 2 special education institutions. Acting Director for Safety and Security in Schools, Richard Troupe, says the ministry is seeking to engage the services of the Jamaica Railway Service and the JUTC in sections of Clarendon. It will also engage the Montego Bay Metrobus Company and private bus operators.
Predominantly, the majority of the students who benefit from this program are from rural parishes. We do understand that in most rural parishes, children and the commuting public do not benefit from Montego Bay Metro. The cost of transportation is significantly higher in these spaces, and that's hence the reason why the ministry would have conceptualized this program.
Under the subsidy arrangement, students attending schools based in St. Catherine will pay $70 when using the train and $30 when taking JUTC buses. As government works towards developing communities through the Zones of Special Operation, ZOSO, it has signaled its intent to develop the Greenwich Town Fishing Village into a major commercial operation. On Friday, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang toured the Kingston community, which is under ZOSO. He says attention is being given to the plan and support has been provided to the fishers.
Yep. Men and women who understand fishing, give them the right equipment, build out the right facilities, they can in fact become a major fishing center, and they have the market here in the corporate area where it is. So we are looking seriously how we can make it a real commercial venture. The Ministry of Agriculture will have to get involved, but they are again emphasize our holistic approach to developing communities with social investment.
According to Dr. Chang, work being done through the Jamaica Social Investment Fund in communities classified as ZOSOs demonstrates the government's interest in achieving transformative social investment.
We are doing everything to create an environment where they can do peace and public safety. And beyond that, to introduce in there the kind of development that will improve the prosperity, the life, the wealth of the people in there.
The process has started to establish the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, JCPD, as a corporate body. The transition is part of provisions under the Disabilities Act, which came into effect on February 14 this year. The legislation is designed to protect and promote the equal rights of persons with disabilities and prohibit discrimination. Interim Executive Director of the JCPD, Dr. Christine Hendricks, says that as a corporate body, the Council will have greater power and autonomy in carrying out its mandate. This includes supporting and advocating on behalf of the disabled community, as well as acting on cases of discrimination.
It will be managed by a management board who will be responsible for the policy and programming direction of the council. and the management board will report to the minister that has responsibility for disabilities. And in this instance, it is the Minister of Labor and Social Security. The new JCPD, as a statutory body, will be able to hire its own staff and be responsible for its own finances.
Dr. Hendricks was speaking at a recent JIS think tank. Under the Disabilities Act, a disability rights tribunal will be established to adjudicate matters that aggrieved persons may take to the JCPD. Dr. Hendricks says more than 72 persons will be employed to the new JCPD, and an office space in Kingston is now being retrofitted to accommodate its operations. A security alert has been issued to Jamaicans in Russia to leave that country. The advisory was issued last evening by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Portfolio Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith says the warning is necessary as the situation in Russia is becoming increasingly difficult due to various sanctions being imposed in response to its military actions in Ukraine.
Flights to and Russia have already been restricted as several countries close airspace to Russian flights. Visa and MasterCard have suspended all transactions with Russia so that financial transfers are being suspended. All of this should be a clear indication of the worsening situation in Russia, so we are advising Jamaicans there to leave as soon as practicable.
Minister Johnson-Smith says her office has been in contact with 18 students in Russia, and so far 3 are making plans to leave in the coming days. Contact has also been made with 4 medical students in Georgia, and they were advised to seek shelter in safer countries until the situation in the Eastern European region becomes clearer. The ministry says its offices in Moscow, Berlin, and Jamaica remain available to engage Jamaicans. And finally, the official funeral for the late former cabinet minister Dr. Paul Robertson will be on Saturday, March 12. Dr. Robertson died last month at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. He was 75. The service will be held at the University of the West Indies Mona Chapel starting at 1 p.m. Dr. Robertson's contribution to nation building started in the field of education as a teacher, lecturer, and professor, as well as chairman of the Jamal Foundation. His love for services led Dr. Robertson into representational politics, and he became Member of Parliament in 1993 for the Southeast St. Catherine constituency under the People's National Party, PNP. He also held several ministerial positions, including Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce and Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Dr. Robertson also served as a senator. He retired from representational politics in 2007. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.